Welcome, DeFrosters, and thanks for tuning in to DeFrost, the Meltdown, the only podcast where you can stay up to speed with the ever-developing DeFrost finance platform and get sneak peeks into what's to come. Without further ado, let's frost and melt.
Welcome back, DeFrosters. Coming back at you with episode 2 of DeFrost the Meltdown. This is your host, Doran, with co-host DeFi Money Printer. In this episode, we're going to talk about the month in passing of January 2022 and give you guys some hopefully alpha sneak peeks into what's upcoming. So just to kind of start off, we had a successful meme contest. Winners have been chosen and rewards will be sent out soon on that. It was a very good success, great reception, a lot of activity on Twitter and in the Discord, a lot of new faces, which was great to see. I hosted the contest specifically, and I can say that I cried laughing multiple times looking at the entries. So that was really enjoyable for me to go through. And I will let Money Printer kind of go into detail about the USDC rewards on the Melt AVAX pool that just came out this past month as well.
Yeah, one last mention there on the the meme contest. Make sure if you're not already in the Discord, join the Discord. You can see all the entries that were posted in there, and there's a lot of great conversation and yield strategy talk going on in there. So good to be both in the Discord and the Telegram. And as Doran mentioned here, right to launch out the first week of January, DeFrost Finance, we launched dual rewards in USDC and Joe for the Melt AVAX farm. So if you guys recall, it did start out as Joe and Melt rewards for maybe the first month or two. And we've since changed that to bring the LP staking right onto the DeFrost platform. And now you will get Joe and USDC rewards for staking your Melt AVAX LP. So pretty cool getting rewards in stable coins, and then you can use those as you please and compound your rewards and have it right on the platform there, so you can jump around and do your other activities there as well.
That's right. Yeah, hard cash rewards, and those are taken out of the H2O protocol fees. So basically, the team came together and we were like, okay, we're already giving a 50% share of H2O protocol fees to Melt/SMelt holders when they stake in the Boost farm. So what else can we do to kind of incentivize some liquidity? And so that was when it was decided to create that dual reward system with the USDC. And come on, USDC, I believe launched recently on Avalanche, so they're fully invested in the ecosystem, and so it's just kind of makes sense all around. But really quick, let's move on to what we had next, which is the first 2 snapshot governance votes coming online. And the forum coming online. So we now have a forum where any user in the community can come and make proposals. Those proposals can get upvotes and then can potentially be passed along to becoming snapshot votes in governance. And we just had the first 2 successful snapshot governance votes. Those were on low value H2O vaults being taken off of the system, clean up the UI a little bit there and just kind of clean everything up. If nobody's using them, there's really no sense in them being there. And that was obviously not that hard of a decision, but we do make decisions like that carefully, bringing votes like that forward. That was voted to pass. So those low value vaults will go away. And then also the second vote, which was for the old Curve DeFrost farm and the new Boost farm. So what happened there is the old Boost farm essentially has 0 melt emissions now. It was 40,000 melt a day before it was shut down. Now it's 0 melt a day. And 30,000 melt was moved to the boost farm, which had 20,000 melt a day being emitted prior to that addition. So now the boost farm has 50,000 melt a day. And if anyone's been in the UI on the platform playing around, you will definitely notice that in the yield and return rate. I believe it's over 100% right now, and that's on stable coins. So really, really awesome there. And then I guess we should probably touch on the melt pump. What do you think, MP?
Yeah, I mean, the past month here, as we said in the first episode, we're continuing to seek out utility for both Melt and H2O, continuing the marketing front. And, the community can make a big impact on that as well as the direction of the protocol as well. So never underestimate, what impact your voice can have, especially on governance as well as just general suggestions and speaking with other defrosters as far as the success of the project. And even just recently posted a whole list of activities the community can do just to gain awareness of defrost and melt and H2O. And really that's sums it up as far as why we're seeing the recovery we're seeing. There's a close knit community of passionate members here, and we really just all want to see the success of the protocol and work through any of the small kinks or roadblocks coming our way. And we're just going to keep trying to get more passionate community members and keep that discussion going, and we will see the success that we want to see here. So yeah, just recently we saw probably a low of 15 cents on DeFrost, and towards the end of the month here we've gone up to probably hit close to the $2 mark and come back and hover around dollar and a quarter, $1.50. So definitely good to see, everyone who had those diamond hands and just held it out and kept pushing forward. We definitely know we have a great project here, and everyone kind of saw that we were quite undervalued at the time, and we're going to just keep pushing forward to bring more value to the protocol and the community as a whole.
Yeah, it's you're right. Like even if you bought and you were close to 15 cents, or let's say you bought, I think one of our OG community members literally bought first at like $12 when we had that initial hype when we launched and the token ran to like 20. And DCA the entire time, full on respectable diamond hand, just machine, DCA'd all the way down. And then when we had a little bit of a run up from 15 cents, sold 25% of his position, got his initial investment out entirely, and is literally playing with the house's money. So yeah, it's been beautiful to see. 15 cents was way undervalued. Sorry. And it was just a massive discount, and to see it pump to $2.50. I mean, you can do the math on what kind of returns that is getting in at those discounts. So it's definitely nice to see a lot of people paying attention to the platform. Really quick, I just want to touch on the boosting mechanism. Just so everybody knows, all of our contracts are audited by Certic, but the boost contract was one of the newer contracts, and I just want to let everybody know that that was audited by Certic. As well, I would like to let everybody know that really quickly, if you go to the farming page, and there's a few different changes to the UI, but specifically if you go to the farming page on defrost.finance, you can see the smelt to melt exchange rate, and that's useful when you're staked in the solo melt farm and then use that smelt to boost the defrost curve farm, because you'll be able to see in real time what your smelt could be exchanged to, and that exchange rate represents the 107.36% APY that you're earning in melt on the underlying melt that smelt. And then as well as the staking rate, which is over 50%. It has just been climbing. That's been fantastic to see. We've also got a melt buy button on the site now where you can literally click this button and it'll send you to Trader Joe with the contract pre-filled so that you can swap anything you'd like to melt. Our TVL, I think, is increased by what, like 20 million pretty quickly here with these things we're gonna bring up pretty soon here, which are some new vaults. And then just to touch on this really quickly, we are burning melt now in those new vaults. So I think it's probably time that we start talking about those. Basically, I will just go over those really briefly. We're not going to go into too much detail on these. There's already a lot of people using them. I think the staked out vault was maxed out within like a day when we released it. But basically, we've launched something called Super Vault 2. And what these are is it's a vault with in collaboration with Stake DAO. There are AVAX Rush rewards for this vault. So on the front end, the first loop is, I believe, still going to have higher returns than one loop on, say, the AV3 Curve Super Vault. And to get into these vaults, you have to pay a ticket fee in Melt, and then that Melt is burned. So these vaults, these two new vaults, are burning Melt upon entry. So we're boosting the Melt price, and we're also trying to assist the H2O peg with this. The second Super Vault 2 is the AV3 Curve Super Vault, and that requires Melt as an entry fee as well. It is less because, like as I mentioned, the yield is less on the AV3 Curve Super Vault 2 on the front end with that first loop. So we want to make sure always that we're still incentivizing users, all of these things that we implement to kind of help Melt and then help the peg of H2O. We want to make sure that we're still, keeping our users first, our investors first, and focusing on them and making sure that there's still a reason for them to use these mechanisms. So yeah, do you do you want to say anything about kind of the field day Twitter has been having with Melt recently with some of these influencers?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I have any specific names. I know
Yeah, we don't need to
what
say any names.
I know there's somebody big bags or something who's really giving us a push. Just don't know it off the top of my head, but yeah, really great to see. Like I was saying before, first and foremost, the organic interest and discussion going on in both the Telegram and the Discord, and really users helping users. That's really what it's all about. Like I said before, never underestimate your impact that you can have on a project. But yeah, it's really great to see the interest and activity going up on Twitter as well. And use the hashtags Melt, DeFrost, Let's Frost and Melt.
Let's go.
We'll make a whole list of those for you. And like I said, there's all these.
You made a list. You made an awesome list.
I made a list, and we can put that in the description here. And it's all just community activities on the different platforms that Melt is on. So for example, like Dex Tools, Dex Screener, all the different coin tracking sites. Something as simple as going in and giving Melt a vote or a thumbs up or a star, and if 100 or 1,000 community members do that, that's gonna pay everyone out in tenfold. Just bringing awareness to the project, and don't underestimate the impact it can have if we all kind of do that together.
Yeah, 100%, dude. It's so powerful. I couldn't have said that better myself. So yeah, I think that about covers it for the last month. Obviously, the goal here is to get more use cases for H2O. We really want to incentivize the usage of H2O so that, of course, all H2O is over collateralized and it's all coming from our vaults. But we do have liquidity pools with H2O there where people can come and buy H2O, right? So one of the ways that the peg can be helped is by having just that influx and flow of, say, a new integration on another platform where people are using H2O and they don't maybe want to open a vault, even though it would be in their best interest to open a vault. Maybe they just want to get some H2O quickly. And so we can kind of redistribute the weight of those pools that way. So we are working on that. But yeah, we really want to bring you guys some alpha. We want to give you a reason to be listening to these episodes. We want to give you a sneak peek into what's upcoming before you hear it anywhere else. So we don't necessarily have to say any names. I think we should there's two things that I think we have in mind. And I think maybe we just kind of touch on what those are and what those potentially could be. I can talk about the first one, but do you want to kind of start with the one that you helped facilitate, MP?
Yeah, so on the business development front, people are always looking for more ways to use their H2O and their melt. So we are exploring a few options to get on different dexes and protocols, to expand that reach beyond Trader Joe and Curve. More options, more exposure to the DeFrost ecosystem. So you should be looking out for updates on that as far as additional use cases for Melt and H2O. And one thing to mention as well, don't think we had brought that up, is this month we had launched the DeFrost Finance official YouTube. So make sure you go and subscribe to that page, as we will have some periodic updates there. And of course, subscribe to Doran here, Crypto Mall on YouTube.
Subtle
And
plug.
I'll have my page linked in there as well. But he's the OG DeFrost school master there.
You're too kind. Well, okay, so MP's pretty modest. I'll just go ahead and say it. We are working and in pretty serious discussions with a group that MP brought forward. I think he had been pushing for this for a while, and he finally got us all into a group. Our team's kind of collaborating, and we're in pretty serious discussions with the platform. I'm not going to say their name, but we're in pretty serious discussions with them about bringing Melt and H2O use cases to their platform, which would allow for cross-chain involvement. So let's say you're on another chain, you don't know anything about Melt, and you use this platform. Suddenly, Melt's like kind of on like the front page. You can kind of think of it that way, and you can easily get Melt by using the platform and their native token. So that could be really cool. It could really help us get Melt and H2O out there. I think MP kind of touched on that. And then I will just touch on really quickly. I know a lot of community members have asked for, how can we create liquidity black holes for H2O? How can we create use cases for H2O where users are going to use H2O in another platform or some other integration, and then it'll just be like a liquidity black hole where it's just accumulating fees or whatever. One of the ways we can do that, and we have been working on ways to do that, and we are in some discussions with a few platforms which would make that possible. Once again, I'm not going to say any names, but all of this stuff we've been working really hard on. The team has been burning the midnight oil. I'm sure you guys know the devs are always burning the midnight oil. These guys are freaking shipping. It is insane what they're able to do. I'm not kidding when I say this. I'm not like, I am biased, but this is not a biased comment. We have 5 to 6 legitimate updates and developments on our DeFrost platform that are very good for users that people can actually use, while other platforms have one or none. I mean, like, it's crazy how quick, consistent, and frequent our developments are. So that's my shill. I hope this was enough alpha for you guys. I know this wasn't like super in-depth alpha, like, oh, we're doing this or we're doing that, but it kind of was. And we aren't BSing you. Everything we've said, it is seriously going on, and we are in serious discussions with multiple platforms to create those use cases, and that's just going to grow with time. We're constantly out there looking for ways to integrate, and we're going to keep doing that. So just wanted to give you guys hopefully something to look forward to, even if it is a little vague. Hopefully you guys appreciate that.
Yeah, for for anyone still, listening to the end here, feel free to throw some comments in here and speculate, what our next moves are here based off the clues.
Yeah, feel free to speculate in the comments or tag us in the Discord and antagonize us. We'll definitely try to appease you there. But that's pretty much all we have for episode 2. I think that's all I've got. Do you have any closing words, MP, before we kind of close this one out?
No, let's frost and melt.
Let's go. Let's frost and melt. All right, guys, defrosters, thank you. If you made it this far, thank you so much. Please like, subscribe, leave a comment. These episodes will all be posted on my channel, Crypto Mall, as well as the DeFi Money Printer channel. And then eventually they'll probably also be on the official DeFrost Finance channel. So you're going to be able to find these episodes in a few different places. We have a blast making these. I know we're only episode 2, but we are thinking about guests in the future, maybe from other platforms, and really just becoming a resource, not only for DeFrost, but for the whole space and ecosystem as a whole. So thank you guys so much for listening today or tonight, depending on where you're at. Once again, this has been Doran and Money Printer with DeFrost the Meltdown. Let's frost and melt, guys.
Cheers.
You are now a defroster. Thanks for tuning in. Catch us back here again next month for another episode of DeFrost the Meltdown. Happy melting, friends.